What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on to the point that I felt like I needed to be live tonight to discuss this. If you didn't know, Miss Brit Eady has filed a lawsuit against Bravo to the tune of $20 million, I might add, for her experience of being on the show. Um, on yesterday, the news broke that she's not going to be on the reunion show. And that for me was a shocker because I mean, we see that she films, or we assume that she films through the rest of the season. We have yet to see all the episodes yet. So we are, thinking that, hey, she's going to be there. We're going to talk about the incident that happened from her perspective, just in more detail, like her life since everything has happened, and like what's going on. Like that's what we all were expecting, right? Alas, she's a no-show for the reunion. Okay. So as it turns out, now we know why. It appears that she has filed a suit. Well, it's not an appearance. It's a public record, basically. So we're going to get into that. I'm just going to wait a few minutes, let some people get in, so we can talk about this because, honey, it is a lot. It's a lot. So, um, you know, for me, I'm gonna tell you right now, quite frankly, I felt like she would have filed a lawsuit. Um, in fact, week 5 review on my channel, I did say that she would most likely file a lawsuit. I felt like um, them letting Kenya go was not only because they wanted to, but it was also so that in the event that Britt did file a suit, they didn't want to seem like they were okay with what Kenya did. They didn't want to seem like I just felt like they were trying to remove themselves from it in the event a suit was filed. As of now, I don't think there's been a suit that's been filed against Kenya personally, because I did go into I did go into the fact that she could file a suit personally against Kenya. So I don't know. What we're going to do is just talk about what has come about as far as, you know, um, this lawsuit and everything like that. We're going to talk about what you guys think as far as, her filing this lawsuit. It's crazy to me that it's going down like this. It now explains why she is not in the shots or anything for the reunion, because they came out with the seating chart yesterday. She isn't on there and Kenya isn't on there. I wasn't surprised that Kenya was not on there because Bravo did say she would not film for the rest of the season. The reunion shows do include the season, so that's understandable. I know a lot of people wanted Kenya to be there to hear her side of things. If you missed it, she did do a Tamron Hall interview a few months back that you can go and get her perspective on things. But it is what it is. But I want to go right into what is out there on the net about this lawsuit. So I was going out there getting some details. I see where on that grapejuice.net, they're saying that per the suit, she alleges the network contributed to a hostile work environment and sexually harassed her by subjecting her to unwelcome, offensive, and sexualized behavior and comments, by mandating her to show up to work after she experienced what she calls a gendered attack. Eady is suing for defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, sexual harassment, and fostering a hostile work environment. So that is what the lawsuit is saying. So here's what I'm saying. Today, I filmed an earlier video about the statement that she came out with saying that she wasn't even the one in the photos. So I'm like, now, okay, you mean to tell me that this happened to you? You were saying all these things at the time and how you felt, but then you are saying that you were recently made aware that the photos were not even of you. And I was trying to figure out, like, how is that even possible, right? We know that she wasn't at the event when Kenya showed the poster or whatever. We know that because we saw that after she gave Kenya the flowers, she tried to apologize to Kenya. Kenya wasn't hearing it. I said in that video that I filmed on week 5, and if you go back through my channel, you'll see under popular videos, it is the one that says why Bravo dismissed Kenya. In that video, I was saying how, she did try to apologize, and just Kenya wasn't trying to have it. She just really did not want to hear anything because she was set on the course of action that she indeed ended up taking. So that's the problem. She really just wanted to do it. Do I feel that Brit is the cause for Kenya being dismissed? I do not, because no one made Kenya do that. Kenya did what she did based solely off of what she wanted to do, because as we've gotten to know her over the years, she's going to do what she wants to do. Kenya is very strong and opinionated, and she feels strongly about whatever it is that she's debating or what have you. And so you have to know that even though we see this as entertainment, television, we see it as, just whatever, they are on a job. Okay. And so think about it. If one of your coworkers, because that's what they are on these shows, they are coworkers. They end up being friends sometimes or whatever, just like in a real job situation, but they are coworkers. And imagine if a coworker, you said something that you shouldn't have said, right? And you went there apologetic and everything like that. And then the coworker does what Kenya did. That's a situation we find ourselves in today with this scenario. So they handled it the way they saw fit to handle it. They handled it in such a way that they allowed Brit to continue to film, and they told Kenya, for the foreseeable future, at the very least during this season, we will not continue with you filming. So okay, that is what it is with that. But when you go into this whole lawsuit thing, I really felt like she may try to sue Kenya personally, but I see she was after the bigger bag because she's looking for $20 million. Okay, that's what the lawsuit says. That's not something that Kenya can accommodate, of course. So she sued the network. So let's get back to these photos and her now saying that they aren't even her. So I was looking to figure out, like, how is that even possible? And so I came across an article by US Weekly, and they said that despite Eady's repeated request prior to the airing of the episode to see the photograph in question, the defendants, which is Bravo, allegedly did not show her. As a result, Eady's lawsuit claims Bravo contributed to the hostile work environment and sexually harassed her by subjecting her to unwelcome, offensive, and sexualized behavior and comments based on her gender. So US Weekly helped me understand that she, in fact, did go to them to say, let me see these photos on this poster board. Allegedly, they did not allow her to see them. And it appears that she is implying for the show, for the ratings, for whatever the objective was for allowing her to even show this poster, is the reason why they didn't show her the photos, right? Because if she were to see the photos in advance, then she could have told them, these aren't even me anyway, and they might have cut the scene. You see what I'm saying? So I get where she's coming from with it. Because if you all recall, before the season aired, we had a lot of hype around what Kenya did, what Kenya said. This whole thing with the new girl and Kenya, like, it was a lot of talk. It was a lot of hype around getting that story out so that it would intrigue people to watch the season. Because if you remember, Real Housewives of Atlanta was coming off of a really bad slump for a few seasons in a row. They had changed casts a lot. There were a lot of people moving and leaving and stuff like that. And they were just not even trying to, it's like they were trying to revamp the show. They took like 2 years off to recast, renew, refresh, whatever. And I don't know at this point. I don't know. It's crazy, right? Like, we haven't seen where someone who is brand new to the network, to the show, come in and say, you know what? I ain't even coming to y'all reunion. And on top of that, I am suing y'all because the suit was filed as of yesterday, according to the Shade Room. June 5th, 2025 is when the suit was filed. So, I mean, the same day that we find out that she's not going to be in the reunion, at the reunion, is the same day that she filed this suit. So, yeah, that's crazy to me, right? So, we see where, she is basically like, y'all used somebody else's likeness that wasn't even me to promote y'all's show, and off of my back, y'all doing all this promotion about what Kenya did and all of that right there, because it was a big buzz, it was a huge buzz about what Kenya did and what she said at her salon and this, that, and the other. So it's like, wow, and those photos weren't even of me. So at the end of the day, I don't know what Bravo should have done. I mean, maybe they should not have allowed whatever she had to go forth. I wonder, did anybody from production even know? I mean, there's so many questions that I have. It's like, did anyone from production know what her intent was? Did anybody see the poster before she presented it? I mean, because Kenya went to a specific place in that salon, grabbed the poster, and started her presentation. You know, did she, I mean, like, I got so many questions, like, who approved this? And at this point now, they're going to have to get tighter with whatever props or antics or whatever somebody is doing, so that they're not in a place where they are opening themselves up to a liability. And that was what I was saying in that prior video with why I felt Bravo released Kenya for this season, because you become a liability when you do things like what she did, right? So I think they did what they could to distance themselves with making the point that they did not agree with what Kenya did, therefore they suspended her. But I don't know, I haven't looked at the legal implications about it, but by allowing this narrative to go forth and not allowing Brit allegedly to see the photos, that's a problem. So here we are, waiting to see what's going to happen with this lawsuit, right? So it appears that Andy has made a comment. He did speak out. He didn't say her name or anything like that, but basically he said, this is reaching a level of petty that's beyond even anything I've seen. And he put a popcorn emoji after that post. So it's interesting. It's very interesting how this is going to turn out. I'm pretty sure at this point, Bravo is looking to figure out how they're going to redo things, because who wants to be in court? I mean, they have the money. Let's not even trip. They have it for sure. But, even rich people, rich companies, they don't want to be wasting their money fighting, court lawsuits and stuff like that if they don't have to. So I wonder, how will this change how they go moving forward? It's getting to a place now where everybody is throwing lawsuits out everywhere. Brit was like, because I was talking about how she's going to miss the bag for filming the reunion, and she was looking at the bigger picture, like, honey, you worrying about that small bag. I'm looking at the bigger picture of this lawsuit here. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has a lawyer, and it's their job to know the law. And I feel that if she didn't have a case, then I doubt anybody would take it, right? Because lawyers can choose to take cases or not take cases. So I'm thinking that somebody saw the validity of the case. Somebody said, hey, you do have a case here. And I do know that, anybody who's on a job, especially in corporate America, and I'm pretty sure that's how Bravo production is run, like corporate America, um, this would be considered sexual harassment, because sexual harassment can be anything like showing photos. It can be words being said. I mean, it can be, gestures. So, from the basic sense and legal definition of sexual harassment, she just may have a case. Um, but let's see. I mean, at the end of the day, this is unfortunate. Clearly, she's done with Bravo. And now that this has happened, even if she intended to go further into reality TV or something like that, most likely will not happen, because now they see you as a risk, basically. So at this point, she's drawn the line in the sand. She has basically said, I am done. I am not, you know, going there with y'all. I refuse. And so, like I said earlier today, like if you feel that your mental or emotional state is compromised in whatever situation you're in, it's best that you take care of yourself. It's best that you do what you feel like you need to do. I said that not knowing for certain that she was going to file a lawsuit, but I mean, I'm not really surprised. I mean, like at this point, Bravo, let me say this, Bravo had a decision to make as it pertained to allowing that footage to roll. Did we on television see what the posters had on there? Of course not. We did not. However, the people who were at the event did see it. They had their phones out recording. I'm pretty sure they're out there somewhere. Um, Also, the ladies of the cast were very descriptive in what was on those poster boards. So we all know now what was shown. So at the end of the day, um, yeah, this is crazy. I mean, this is getting to the place where at this point, reality TV is going to have to be really censored, because who wants this going on? Like, VH1 and all the rest of the people, the networks that have reality TV shows, will they have people sign disclosures about lawsuits? Will they? I mean, I don't know, because in this particular situation, Bravo could have decided, okay, we're not going to show this. They could have, you know how they do the little black screen with the words to explain things. They could have done that. You know what I mean? But they didn't. Or they could have put out a statement, or they could have done something to say why Kenya was going to be absent for the rest of the season. At the time, I guess they felt like it was a good idea to move forward with allowing what they did allow, so that it'll show people why they decided what they decided. Okay. Um, because she does have a big fan base that love her on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kenya does have people that didn't feel that she should have left at all, or if she did leave, then Brit should have left as well. And Brit just kind of canceled herself out of the equation, period. I do know that there were people who were very angry at Brit. And I feel like they were placing blame on her for the outcome of Kenya leaving, when it wasn't her decision. I said that earlier today. It was not her decision as to whether Kenya left or not. I know people like to say that, but any cast member on these shows will tell you that they don't have the right to hire or fire anybody. It is not their decision. It is not their call. If I mean, maybe perhaps Britt did say, if she's going to continue, I'm going to leave. I don't know. We don't know. And that's one of the things that I wish we could have, heard about on the reunion. That's the whole purpose of the reunion, is to air out grievances, to talk about whatever is going on, to, get into everything that happened and get the perspectives of both parties. when they're there. Okay. Based on what we know, Kenya was not invited back. So at least we could have gotten Brit's, how her life has been, something, but we are not going to get that because at this point, now that she's filed suit, of course she has to button up her lips and not talk. It probably was a telltale sign that this was pending also because in recent like weeks she had not been posting anything. She had just, it's kind of like if you didn't know she was on the show, you wouldn't be able to tell by her social media. You know what I mean? Like she was just real quiet and everything. I want to talk real quick about her presence on the show, in my opinion. For me, like I said before, I felt like she got lost in scenes. Especially when it was an all cast. I felt like she got lost. I felt like other people stole the show, if you will. I felt like other people's stories were more prevalent after the whole Kenya fiasco passed for her. The only scenes that we saw her in really was when she was helping her mom pack up, and then the event that just occurred in the last episode that wasn't favorable for her. It's really sad because I know she went into this most likely with high hopes and wanting to, showcase her life and open up more. I felt like she was very closed off, especially after the whole Kenya thing that happened. She was definitely closed off, and it's understandable to me why she would be closed off. I mean, like, but I don't understand or know why she and Kelly fell out, because at this point in real time, they are no longer friends. And Kelly did, open her up a little bit about that part of it. We see right now in the episodes where it seems Kelly and Shamia are getting closer, while Shamia and Portia are on the outs. And we see a little bit of division between Kelly and Brit right now in the show. We see them come together. They're doing this Grenada trip and everything like that. So I guess all we can do is just stay tuned for what's going to happen next, because that's the thing about these shows. Like they film them a year out. Like all of this stuff is happening like a year ago on the show, and then we have what's going on in real life now, and it's like, okay, so how do we get from what we're looking at on the show to where we are in real life today? And so that's what I'm interested in seeing. But you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, let me know what your thoughts are on this. I know Brit did get a hard time. Like, people were really giving her a hard time. They was calling her names. And it wasn't just on the account of what happened between she and Kenya. Am I a fan of hers? Not really. I don't feel like I got to know her really. I don't feel like I know much about her aside from she and her sisters are trying to get it back together as far as a relationship. It appears that she and her husband Mike are trying to have a baby, and that's why her mom's moving in with her. And that her father passed away in 2015. That's all I can remember about her right now. Um, you know, I feel bad for the situation as a whole. I feel like it's just not going well. This was supposed to be Sweet 16, honey. It is anything but. Okay. The ratings are lower than they've ever been. We have just subpar episodes right now. We have divorces galore going on. We have a marriage with Angela and her husband that seems to be rocky at best. I mean, because now you have all of these factors that are distracting and taken away from the show. Um, I know things change. I know that people, come and go, and it's weird. And you're right, this is a mess. It's a huge mess, and I don't know how they're going to clean it up. Let's be clear, I'm not sure how they're going to clean it up at this point. um they've already done a revamp that didn't work. um I don't see where they have renewed for season 17 yet. And if they do, what are they going to do? A lot of people want Nene to come back. Um, Child, I don't see that happening either. I really don't see that happening. Um, at the end of the day, it's like this. There's a time for everything. And the time for Real Housewives of Atlanta may have come and gone. I mean, that just may be it. I mean, you have 16 seasons of a show, reality TV show. And there were some high times, there were some good times, there were some fun times, and then we have some bottom barrel times. And I feel like this may be a bottom barrel time. It is what it is. I mean, at this point, we can only like sit back and watch and see what's going to happen. Um, at the end of the day, I do wish everybody well, though. I'm not one of these people that's out here hoping for someone's downfall. Even Kenya, like I will be the first to say, I'm not a fan of hers, right? I don't like the behaviors. I don't like the antics. Even before this season, it was a lot for me. You know what I mean? Um, but at the same time, I don't want to see anybody just not succeed, right? I'm gonna take it back to like when Portia first came on. When Portia first came on to Real Housewives of Atlanta, I wasn't sure how I felt about her. I felt like she was like, "Oh, I'm the youngest, but you wasn't that young at the same time." You know what I mean? Like we the same age. You ain't that young, boo. Like the way she was acting was a little juvenile to me and stuff like that. But over time, she grew on us because I remember when she first started out, people just she was called all kind of dumb and stupid and all this other stuff, right? For the comments that she made. But she's gained her fan base. She has won over a lot of people. She has grown, okay, and she has changed. And I guess I wish that we could have seen the glow up, the blossom, the blooming of Brit, but we won't get to see that, right? We won't get to see that. So at the end of the day, um, it's just sad, really. I mean, the show has gone to a place that I'm sure none of us saw it going. Um, it is what it is, and he doesn't seem worried. I mean, his whole little post that he made, he's not worried, nor should he be. Um, I'm wondering what the response is of the other girls on the show. I'm pretty sure that they are like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, since it seems that Britt was out on the outs with all the rest of the girls, they probably didn't even see this coming. They probably didn't even know, right? So they're getting the news right along with us. So yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting. Basically, I believe that the reunion show has already filmed, so they will not even be addressing this little bit of news. And I feel like it was strategic as to when this lawsuit was dropped because Britt knew when the reunion show was going to air because at that point she was still in the loop, right? So don't think it wasn't strategic when this lawsuit was filed. Okay. It was filed very strategically. So that's exactly why she didn't show up to the reunion, because how would it look that you would show up to the reunion and film for 12, 13, however many hours they sit there and film, and then drop the lawsuit? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, this is interesting. We're just gonna stay tuned and see what happens. But you guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what you feel. Were you shocked? Were you annoyed? Like, what are your thoughts on this? You know what I'm saying? As usual, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, share, all the good things. Go check out my other video that I did on the potential for Brit getting a lawsuit put together, which she has done at this point. Y'all let me know what y'all think. As always, I appreciate you, love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Stop this.